Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Of Bricks and Dragons. Today, we are going to try and do Star Trek adventures on our fantasy ground background here. Hopefully, I'm doing this correctly, as I'm still learning the system. Um, so, here we're going to kind of jump in now. I'm using the ship that I've been creating. So, we're using the USS Cody for our main ship, which does fast forward us into the next generation era. So, adapting this into this one because this is set more of the Enterprise era. Um, Instead of having an old birth here or a dataless class, we're going to be having a old birth that we are going to rendezvous with. I have not fully read through. Actually, I really haven't read through this. I'm trying to learn Fantasy Grounds as well as everything else. So bear with me as we kind of fumble through this. So what we have here is we have the captain's log, and I'm going to read this out. Please grab something to drink and something to munch on as you kind of sit back and listen to the silliness that comes out of this. Here we are. We have um, Captain's Log. Uh, we've completed long range scans of the Bernard's star, and have arrived at our rendezvous with the USS. Uh, I'm going to have a hard time with this. Uh, Colatario, a it's going to be a birth class starship. We are to drop off medical and repair supplies. I'm going to have to change this name. I'm going to call it the Colorado or something like that because I'm going to keep messing this up. The Colorado was recently retrofitted to serve as a research ship with the goal of advancing the next generation of quantum computers that will be used by warp capable starships. The Colorado's captain, Commander Nick Van Asch, is one of Starfleet's leading quantum physicists. He has written volumes on chaos theory. However, he is best known for pushing the limits of known science. He has been censored by Starfleet science on two occasions, notwithstanding he is the lead on Project Aquas, or yeah, something, um, which stands for Analytically Superior Quantum Information Assimilator. We have been asked to prepare a progress report on the project and make sure that the eccentric commander is keeping with Starfleet regulations. Okay. Um, so in scene one, the characters overseeing the transfer of medical and repair supplies into the Colorado. The two ships have linked via their docking ports. Though the task seems mundane, there is a slight tension in the air since they have been given orders to inspect an allied ship. Starfleet captains tend to be territorial, and science officers do not like to have their experiments subjected to too much outside scrutiny, which makes a lot of sense. Henceforth, the crew should be ordered to do their jobs in a respectful way. After all, we're all friends here, right? Okay. Game Masters note characters may choose to split up once on board. They can tackle. Now, keep in mind, I only really have my main character, so this changes things here a little bit as we do things. Um, Now, there are other characters, and I'm just a junior security officer. Um, in my mind, because I'm a lieutenant junior grade coming out of Starfleet Academy here, I'm actually going to be um, answering to a chief petty officer. Okay. I know it sounds a little off, but seeing that this is my first command, a chief petty officer is definitely going to have the experience. Now, technically, I outrank the chief petty officer, which is going to be one of those things that would have been explained to me. Look, I'm technically in charge, but I answer to him because he's got the experience to help teach me what I need to know. And when the chief feels that I'm doing good enough to start taking over, he'll start taking a back seat to me. But in the meantime, I'm going to be learning everything from the chief petty officer. Um, and I mean, I've kind of mentioned a little bit in our session zero, which I did, I believe, yesterday. The holiday season and other things going on. I really haven't been posting much, but in the last one, I mean, my characters just, I mean, we're just ending from being in the Dominion War. Starfleet's back to do it, trying to do a lot more science stuff and everything else. So this seems to work perfectly for us here. All right, so um, of course, I'm just going to be kind of looking over the commander's shoulders. Um, he could very easily trip me up because I am a junior officer here. All right, Commander Van Ash, and his second in command, Lieutenant Commander Alberta Hawk, uh, welcomes the player characters aboard the vessel. Uh, the commander is not big on pleasantries. He comments on how he is the key turning point on the project. He does not want to keep the player characters from continuing their own important missions. He offers to have his first officer, Hawk, give a tour through the recently retrofitted Daedalus class starship. Okay, so we're going to kind of skip down here. We're going to meet the crew. All right. Um, so, in a let's see, characters may decide to investigate the crew members. All right. Well, we're going to ask around. Just, um, I think the best thing to do is, hey, can we just kind of meet crew and see how things are going? Just make sure everything's going right. In a control or presence plus command task with a difficulty of 2. So I can try and roll here, and I know I have some dice. Let's see. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so I've done some dice rolling before here, and um, I am going to say I do like how. I'll close that down. Um, I had some other overlays, and I didn't realize I had some other overlays, but this has a nice Star Trek um, look to it. So, um, unfortunately, just like everyone else, I had to look it up online in order to figure this out. Um, I know I've heard plenty of good stuff from um, people using Fantasy Grounds, and I've picked it up before. I picked up the Game Master version in the past, but seeing that my friends don't use it or whatever else, we always get together. I didn't pick it up that way this time. I have it more as just a single player. I figured that if I'm sharing it with you guys, it's not like we're going online and everybody's meeting up here. Um, and I am fumbling at trying to see the dice. Let me just roll the dice here. Um, let's see here. I need, all right, two 20 sided. All right, so I even have my regular character printed off here. So we have Connor here, and it's saying presence or control. Control of 11, in command I have a 3, so that gives me a 14. I roll, and I only get one success. I got a 18 and an 8, so I fumble that one pretty good, as usual. So as far as I know, everything's going good. All right. In both cases, the game master should refer to the NPC stats for focusing the special rules. Okay, well, I'm just saying I'm going to go against like 10, but it's seen that this is just a difficulty of 2. Um, all right, so we're meeting the crew. Characters may decide to investigate crew members. The crew is composed primarily of scientists and engineers. All right, so let's meet the presence in command. All right, so I'm going to say I'm going to talk to about 10 people. We'll see how I do here. Um, my test roll didn't do very good, so we'll see. All right, I got a 14 and an 8 now. Looking at my sheet here again, command is 3 and control is 11. So, all right, I make 1. Oops, I'm dropping stuff here. I'm looking for a pad of paper. I had 1, but that's not the one I want to use. All right, success, failure. All right, we got 1 success. So let's just say I talk to people, see how things are going. Things seem like they're doing pretty good, I guess. Second one, I got 11 and a 15, so that's a failure. I'm going to do a third one. I got 220, so that's definitely a failure. Um, I got an 18 and a 10, so there's another failure. Boy, my character's not doing well. All right, a 4 and a 17. Oh, my luck holds out. Okay, that's fine. A 15 and 11, so we got 5. I have no idea what's going on, and 1 success. I got 2 successes now. Ooh, look at that. And I got a 10 and a 13, so I got another one. 9 and a 7. Hey, I think we might almost break even here. And I got a 19 and a 4. So, nope, that's my goods and bads here. Okay, most of the crew rarely sees their captain as he has his head buried in his research. They speak admirably of Lieutenant Commander Hawk, though they seem to uh, be on top of things. All right. Some crew members are concerned that the commander might be researching fringe science and relying too heavily on his quantum computer to achieve his outcomes. And last of all, we have it is rumored that a science officer was injured in a recent experiment gone wrong, but the ship's doctor claims it was just a case of a flu. All right. Encounters and sensors say so. I'm going to say that if I'm doing this, I've got a little bit of an idea. I think I could say that maybe somebody got hurt or what they heard rumored that someone got hurt. I think asking 10 different people, we could see that. Um, with the failures here, I think I'm just going to hear that everything's fine. Um, so we're going to go with that. Now, checking the sensors, just checking that out. Now, I did specialize a little bit more, I believe, in computers. So let me bring up my own character sheet because you know what? I can do that. There's supposed to be a way I can do that. And then you guys could see what I have. Player, character sheets. Oh, there we are. That way I'm not looking at a sheet off screen and you guys are wondering what I'm looking at. All right. So for good or bad, here we are. And then if this is a little different from what I had, yeah, it is a little different, isn't it? Command, yeah, I've got a 2 on this one, but I have 3 on the one that I rolled personally. So um, still, it's fine. Um, what I'll do is I'll try and stay off of the one here. Still, as you can see, my rolls are terrible. I've got to figure out how to change the dice here, though, and that'll just be more playing with this, and the more I play with it, the better I get. I understand that, and that's why I'm trying to do this on here. I figure if I can get all my Star Trek done more on this, I can learn it, and I can play with it and all that stuff. We can get this better. Hopefully, I can get bigger maps so that way, unlike being limited on what I can do on my pool table, we can see a little bit more here. Okay, so we're gonna keep this. I've got to keep this roughly about a half hour. That's all I can record at a time on the program I'm using. So I'm trying to kind of see what we can do here. I can always loop them together, but as you guys know, I'm not very good at doing a lot of editing. All right, so we have scene two of the quantum computer here. Okay, captain's log, or I'm not going to say I'm a captain. I'm just security officer's log here. As much as I had hoped that Commander Von Osh research was harmless, the crew's preliminary investigations indicate something could be amiss. Nope, wait a minute. I don't know if I would really be getting that or not. Um, well, we'll go with it. Um, I do not want to intrude on sensitive experiments, especially when they could benefit Starfleet. However, a minimal visual inspection of the quantum computer is in order. Maybe we can learn a little bit more about the quantum particles our scans detected. Hopefully, our allies will cooperate. All right, so kind of taking a sense here. Um, we have a room that is 15 meters square and over 7 meters tall with the computer. Utilizing three decks to function, every wall is covered by blue hued lights, well organized cable structures, and ports for rows of palm sized data units um, that run from the center room to thick cylindrical column extends from floor to ceiling. The column is composed of countless multicolored wires. The wires are translucent with small pinpoints of light running up and down so that they resemble a giant deep sea jellyfish. Okay, so here we have this is our room here. Um, I don't know if I can get this somewhere else. Um, Encounter, push some buttons. So, as someone that doesn't really know much about what he's looking at, I mean, I do have some computer skill, I believe. Command engineering, computers. So I thought I had taken, yeah, computers twice, um, and hand phasers twice. I don't know how much that helps me. Just trying to go through things, ships, notes. Um, all right. I figured that knowing computers for security reasons and all that stuff would be a good base for my character. Um, and we will start getting more characters in here. Okay, so Von Asch was scanning the center column of wiring with a custom hand tool that resembles a futuristic spatula. If anyone asks, the tool is called a quantum shift scrubber. If a character asks what it does, he stares at them for 2 seconds and then continues on with his work. Sounds typical. All right. He is immersed in his work and is talking to the computer as if it is a person. He says things like, "Come on, baby, show me the enigma of what I want to see. Let's prove these doubters wrong." That makes sense. All right, Game Master notes. Von Osh is trying to cover up a mistake that got his science officer injured. He is terrified that he will lose his commission if the faith or if he fails in any way. His erratic nature makes him extremely uncooperative. We've seen this many times before in the shows. All right. If the character if the characters inform Vanash that they intend to conduct an inspection per Starfleet's orders, Vanash resists this request as he is at a sensitive juncture in his latest experiment. Trying to persuade him to allow the inspection is a control or presence plus command, which we will take a roll here. Control and command, so that's a 13. So we'll see how bad I do. Remember, he also outranks me. I got a 16 and a 19. I fumbled that really bad. So I can't persuade him. Um, Me being a junior officer, I'm just kind of stammering here. It's like, I really need to see. And he says no. And I just kind of back off. Um, okay, so with the difficulty of 4, see, I rolled 2 dice and I got 0 there. So for me to add anything else, that's not going to work. All right. All right, encounter of pulling files. Well, for me, because I was not able to do anything there, I think we're going to fail at that point. Um, let's see here. The scene that I'm failing so horribly, I think our adventure is probably going to um, end a little on the premature side. So let's see. Here's another captain's log. Act 2 layers. Commander Von Osh has violated Starfleet's orders. See, I wouldn't even know any of this stuff because I'm failing rolls left and right. And this is where it's different for me doing modules compared to just me doing this stuff. Um, I think what we're gonna do, seeing that I'm doing this horrible, um, I'm gonna try and check in with. We have poor Ensign Adams, so I'm gonna check in with the doctor to see who it was that had gotten quote sick and see what they had to say. So, of course, if the doctor's just saying sick and I'm a poor ensign, or I'm I don't think I would have the presence of mind to really even say anything's really bad. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave. I think I'm gonna go back and say I think everything's doing fine. Um, and I know this is kind of copping out, and it's really kind of changing the whole thing here. But I think what we're going to find is this, because I failed this horribly, and it's going off of what I've found. We're going to say that it looks like everything's doing fine, and then the ship is going to explode. They're going to have a horrific accident with whatever. And then we're going to be sitting here analyzing. And let me do a roll here. Um, let's see, because I'm doing this on the fly because I'm doing this bad, um, and I have nothing really to hide. So I mean, it's one of those when I'm telling you my dice rolls. I mean, you hear I'm not doing very good. All right, I'm gonna roll. We're gonna do um, we're gonna do a reason, and we're gonna do a science here. So I've got an 11 or better, and I'm gonna need a two successes, and I got a 19 and a 2. So I'm doing horrible here. Um, Actually, I think the ship should be able to help me out. So I'm using the scanners, and I got a 12. So I need an 11, didn't I? Yeah. I reason is 9. Science, yeah, that's an 11. So even with the ship's help, I just can't come to anything conclusive as to what happened. Um, Maybe if I have, I'm going to have 2 other people help me. I'm just trying to, and even there, I got a 16 and I got an 8. All right, so finally, with other people helping me, I finally just barely made it. We do find out that there was a charge up of those quantum particles or whatever, and it malfunctioned with the engine core and it exploded the ship. So I think that's about the best I can do. With rolls this bad, and I typically roll really bad, and I've said this many times before, um, I think that's really about the best answer I can come up with. Um, Geesh, I'm doing horrible here. Um, Maybe if I can get the dice on here to work a little bit better, maybe I can get some better rolls, um, and not through some cheating way or anything else either. Uh, this is going to be just however silly and how bad things go, and with that, we're just going to have to let it go. So here's our first little side mission on our way over to Nimbus 3 as we get asked to kind of check this out, check that out. I mean, we're supposed to do Starfleet stuff and help patrol and keep everyone and everything safe. So all right, well that's where we're going to end it today. This has been a very short and a very very not so well rolled campaign here. So all right. Well, thank you for visiting. Hope you have a great day. We're going into the new year, so I will try and get another video up for tomorrow, which is New Year's Eve, and we'll go from there. So, thanks again. We'll see you in the next video.